Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Mandir in our new place, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Pati Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Tadiya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai, Harinama Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So, welcome. We have an evening today to remember the beautiful glories and the tattva of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, as we have heard from our Gurudev and Guru Varga. And also we will sing many of these bhajans glorifying Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So we have an exciting evening ahead of us. Many other devotees are also observing this festival today. So you may have seen that there are many Zoom programs going on around the world and many other programs. And whoever's with us, I appreciate that you're with us. Oops. You may have seen this. Sorry. I appreciate that you're with us. And if you feel the necessity to go anywhere else where you feel more nourished, then I'm all for it. I'm also looking for more and more nourishment. Also, as you may have noticed, today, Sudevi adjusted the Shringar of Thakurji. For the appearance day of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, she placed them in blue. So later on you will have close-up darshan of them. Okay, we will begin with Mangalacharan. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I can probably test it myself. Radhe 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 Sham. Later on you will have close-up. Yes, okay, great. So that is page 1 of this book, Shri Gauriya Gita Guccha, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. I think after this we may go to the one that Yashodanandan Prabhu is doing in London, or based out of there. It's actually global. He did invite us to attend if we have time. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagano Raghunatanditam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagano Lalita Shri Vishakhamritangscha Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇ Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaischa Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Nārayaṇam Tam Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padājivitaika Hriddi Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sarasaram Nārayaṇam Tam Satatam Prapadye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swāmīniti Nāmine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyāna Keshavo Yiti Namine Ati Martyaksharitraya Svashritanancha Paline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanto Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabharavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchiranandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugambharayate Gauravirbhavamumesvam Nirdeshta Sajanapriya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kantan Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pangur Mama Mandam Matirgati Matsarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadumada Śrīmad Ratnagara Sinhasanastho Shri Śrī Radha Śrīla Govindadeva Krishtani Sevyamano Smarami Śrīmandra Sarasarambhi Vangshivatattatastitaha Karshan Menu Swanargotir Gopinatha Shri Estunaha Vrindaye Tulasidevyai Priyayai Keshavasya cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupasvarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahādāvagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhum Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritashwadanam Sarvatma Snaparam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Harer Nam Harer Nam Harer Nam Eva Kevalam Bolo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyatha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Oh, power cut. I wonder how long that's going to last for. They told us that it would keep happening. 1 second. This is urgent. I don't know if it's a temporary power cut or a permanent one. Where is that? I have to do this. Otherwise, we could be out. Okay. Yeah, we're in one of these situations where there's some outstanding power bill, interestingly enough. Okay, can you still hear me? I don't know what's going on. Okay. So, we will start with Gurudev. Okay, he said he's turning it back on. Gurudev kripa bindu diya koro e dase trinapeka tihino. Page 32. Oops. No, mera. Sorry about this. Yeah. One more thing. Okay. Gurudeva kripa bindu diya koro e dase trinapekayati hino. Gurudeva kripa bindu diya koro e dase trinapekayati hino. Sakala sahane balladiya koro nijamane sprihahino. Sakala sahane balladiya koro nijamane sprihahino. কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন সকলে সমান করিতে শক্তি দেহনাথ যথা যথ সকলে সমান করিতে শক্তি দেহনাথ যথ যথ তবে তো গাহিব হরি নাম সুখে তবে তো গাহিব হরি নাম সুখে অপরাধ হবে হত অপরাধ হবে হত গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন কবে হেন কৃপা লোভিয়া এ জন কৃতার্থ হইবে নাথ কবে হেন কৃপা লোভিয়া এ জন কৃতার্থ হইবে নাথ শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন করো মোরে আত্মসাৎ করো মোরে আত্মসাৎ গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমারো করুণা সারো যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমারো করুণা সারো করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিও কাঁদিয়া করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিও কাঁদিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরো প্রাণ না রাখিব আরো গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ গুরু নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু গুরু নিত্যানন্দ গুরু নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু গুরু নিত্যানন্দ গুরু নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু গুরু নিত্যানন্দ গুরু Nityananda Prabhu Guru Nityananda Guru Nityananda Prabhu Guru Nityananda Guru Nityananda Prabhu Guru Nityananda Guru Parampara 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 Guru Parampara. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. I noticed that when the power cut, when the lights were less, then Thakurji were brighter. Maybe, well, we haven't connected their internal lights yet, so everything will be done in time. So you may have noticed I chanted Guru Nityananda, Prabhu Guru Nityananda, because Nityananda Prabhu or Baladev Prabhu is the original Guru, the source of all Gurus, otherwise known as Akhanda Guru Tattva. Akhanda means the complete whole or the unbroken aspect of Guru. We have heard from our Srila Prabhupada that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But there is a conception of Guru or Nityananda Prabhu, Baladev Prabhu, the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. This is Guru Tattva. So there's Vishai Bhagavan and Ashray Bhagavan or Ashray Tattva. And so when we were chanting Guru Nityananda, because Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Baladev Prabhu. Brajendra Nandana Jay Shachi Shuta Hoilo She Balarama Hoilo Nitai. Both of these personalities, Krishna himself, Brajendra Nandan Shyamasundar, has manifested in this world as Shri Shachinandan Gaura Hari. Radha Bhava Duty Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. Although he is Krishna himself, he is imbued with or covered with Radhika's moods, her bhavs and her complexion. And that same Baladev Prabhu, that same first manifestation of Krishna, you can say, that same Balarama Hoilo Nitai, has manifested in this world as Shri Nityananda Ram. Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. So we'll go a little bit more into the tattvas, maybe speaking in between the bhajans as inspiration comes. So I noticed there we have Ashray Tattva. Interestingly enough, if there's an enjoyer, what will they enjoy? So Krishna is known as Vishai Bhagavan. He is the supreme Lord of enjoying. What will supply his enjoyment? He needs to enjoy something. There's no meaning to enjoy without that which is enjoyed. So to complete the picture, so to speak, then you need a minimum of two aspects. One is the enjoying, and the other is what is facilitating the enjoyment. So then you've got Vishai Bhagavan and Ashray Bhagavan. Both together make the complete whole. So now we will call out to Vaishnavas. And for some reason today I'm feeling like Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnaviragana by Devaki Nandan Das, page 36. And Dandavat Pranam to all who are just now arriving. And if you do not have a bhajan treasure trove like this, I believe Jiva Pavana Prabhu is there. Are you there? I didn't see. Oh, he's there. Okay, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Jiva Pavana Prabhu We'll post the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. So just scroll to his most recent post and you will find the bhajan there and you can follow along. And in case you forget the page number, as you can already tell, Janardhan Prabhu has posted the page number, page 36. Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam, Jai Nitai. Vrindavan Vasi Jato Vaishnavero Gano Prathame Vandana Kuri Sabaro Charano Vrindavan Vasi Jato Vaishnavero Gano Prathame Vandana Kuri Sabaro Charano Nilachalo Vasi Jato Mahaprabhur Gano Nilachalo Vasi Jato Mahaprabhur Gano Bhumite Poriya Bando Sabharo Charano Bhumite Poriya Bando Sabharo Charano Navadvipavasi Jato Mahaprabhur Bhakta Navadvipavasi Jato Mahaprabhur Bhakta Sabharo Charano Mando Hoyayanurakta Sabharo Charano Mando Hoyayanurakta Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jato Gaura Deshe Sthiti Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jato Gaura Deshe Sthiti Sabharo Charana Bando Koriya Pranati Sabharo Charana Bando Koriya Pranati Je deshe vaise Gaurangero Gano Je deshe vaise Gaurangero Gano Purva Bahu Kori Bando Sabharo Charano Yurva Bahu Kori Bando Sabharo Charano Hoyacheno hoibeno Prabhur Jato Daso Hoyacheno hoibeno Prabhur Jato Daso Sabharo Charano Bando Dante Kori Ghaso Sabharo Charano Bando Dante Kori Ghaso Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane Eveda Purane Guno Gaye Je Bashune Eveda Purane Guno Gayo Je Bashune Mahaprabhur Gano Sava Patita Pavano Mahaprabhur Gano Sava Patita Pavano Tai Lobhe Mui Papi Loinu Sharana তাই লোভে মুই পাপী লইনু শরণ বন্দনা করিতে মুই কত শক্তি ধরি বন্দনা করিতে মুই কত শক্তি ধরি তম বুদ্ধি দোষে মুই দম্ভ মাত্র করি তম বুদ্ধি দোষে মুই দম্ভ মাত্র করি তথাপি মুখের ভাগ্য মনের উল্লাস তথাপি মুখের ভাগ্য মনের উল্লাস দোষ ক্ষমি মোয় ধমে করুণী দাস দোষ ক্ষমি মোয় ধমে করুণী দাস সর্ববাঞ্ছা সিদ্ধি হয় यम बंध छूते सर्ववांछा सिद्धि हो यम बंध छूते जगते दुर्लभ होइया प्रेम धन लूटे जगते दुर्लभ होइया प्रेम धन মনের বাসনা পূর্ণ আচিরাতে হয় মনের বাসনা পূর্ণ আচিরাতে হয় দেবকী নন্দন দাস এলো ভেকয় দেবকী নন্দন দাস वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो 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 प्रभु है 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 All Vaishnava Thakurus की जय Now we will call out for the mercy, for the grace of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami and Sanatana Gosvāmī, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Who did I miss? I don't know if I missed anyone. Hari Haraye Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Page 148. By Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur. Hariharaye Namo Krishna Yadavai Namaha Hariharaye Namo Krishna Yadavai Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gopta, 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 Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunāth, Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunāth, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunāth, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunāth, Echai Goshair Kori Charana Vandan, Echai Goshair Kori Charana Vandan, Jaha Hite Vignonash Abhishta Puran, Jaha Hoite Vignonash Abhishta Puran, Echai Goshai Jar Mui Taro Das, Echai Goshai Jar Mui Taro Das, Tasavara Paddarenu Mora Panchagras, Tasavara Paddarenu Mora Panchagras, Tadero Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas, Tadero Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas, Janame Janame Hoy Ei Abhilash, Janame Janame Hoy Ei Abhilash, Echai Goshai Jabe Braje Koilavash, Echai Braje Koilavash, Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash, Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash, Anande Bolo Hari Bhajo Vrindavan, Anande Bolo Hari Bhajo Vrindavan, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Mojayaman, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Mojayaman, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kori Ash, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kori Ash, Hari Nama Sankirtan Kohe Narottama Das, Hari Nama Sankirtan Kohe Narottama Das, Hari Haraye Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Haraye Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah, Gopal Govinda Rama Shri Madhusudan, Gopal Govinda Rama Shri Madhusudan, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gopta, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gopta, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunāth, Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunāth, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunāth, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunāth, Rupa Gosvāmī Prabhu, Rupa Gosvāmī, 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 Jaya Rupa Raghunāth, Rupa Raghunāth, Rupa Raghunāth, Jaya Rupa Raghunāth, Jaya Rupa Raghunāth, Rupa Raghunāth, Rupa Raghunāth, Jaya Rupa Raghunāth. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai, Shri Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Now we are coming to the bhajans glorifying Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Tadiya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki jai. Wow. So, Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani, page 61. Free advertising for Yogi Kārtika. Quick intermission. Cheap and best. Take it. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Nitai Guno Mani Amar Nitai Guno Mani Nitai Guno Mani Amar Nitai Guno Mani Aniya Premero Vanya Bhashailo Yavani Aniya Premero Vanya Bhashailo Yavani Premer Vanya Loya Ailo Gora Deshe Premere Banya Loya Nitai Ailo Gora Deshe Rubilo Bhakato Gano Dino Hino Bhashe Rubilo Bhakato Gano Dino Hino Bhashe Dino Hino Patito Pamoro Nahi Bache Dino Hino Patito Pamoro Nahi Bache Brahmara Durlabha Premo Sabakare Jache Brahmara Durlabha Premo Sabakare Jache Abadha Karuna Sindhu Katiya Muhano Abadha Karuna Sindhu Katiya Muhano Ghare ghare bule prem घरे घरे बुले प्रेम अमियारो मारो लोचन बोले मोरो निताय देवाना भजिलो लोचन बोले मोरो निताय देवाना भजिलो जानिया शुनिया से आत्मघाती होइलो जानिया शुनिया से आत्मघाती होइलो निताय गुणो मणि आमार निताय गुणो मणि निताय गुणो मणि आमार निताय गुणो मणि अनिया प्रेमेरो बन्या भाषैलो योमनि अनिया प्रेमेरो बन्या भाषैलो योमनि निताय हे 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 ओ निताय हे 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 पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। Our Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja spoke about this particular bhajan, and he asked, what is the meaning of Abadhak Kuruna Sindhu Katiya Muhan Ghare Ghare Bule Prem Amiyaraban? Here it is saying, there was a dam holding back that unlimited mercy. Advaita Acharya had called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this world. He had called Krishna to come, and Krishna came in an extra special, extra merciful form. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. That most magnanimous, most munificent, most benevolent personality manifested and bestowed upon this world Krishna Prema. What kind of Krishna Prema? What has not been seen before. Samarpayitum unatojvalarasang svabhakti shriyam. Specifically, what Rupa Goswami came to give. This particular mood of service to Srimati Radhika. But when, how, or where that mercy would start to flow, that was a question. Advaita Acharya brought him, but it was all dammed up, blocked up. But Nityananda Prabhu broke that dam. Here it says cut a channel. But we've heard he broke that dam wide open. How? There were two very rough personalities who were born in very prestigious Brahmin families, but due to bad association, as can happen with any of us, they became quite corrupted. They were engaging in all kinds of abominable activities, extremely sinful activities. They were killing people, killing animals, eating flesh, drinking alcohol, doing all kinds of nonsense things. In the name of being Brahmanas, they were still maintaining their status in their name, but they were quite mafioso, gundas, very, very dangerous characters. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had instructed all of his devotees, you should go everywhere and tell everyone you meet about Krishna. Wherever you go, whatever you do, make sure you tell everyone about Krishna. So, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita, Haridas Thakur, so many devotees would go out and they would endeavor to inspire people to chant the holy names. However, these two, Jagai and Madai, very dangerous characters. They would always become upset and start hurling insults, threatening, chasing whoever would come away. They chased Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas. Haridas was quite elderly. They were chasing after them and they were running away, all the while laughing. But these two were chasing them. So they're teaching us, even if someone doesn't want it, you never know until you try. Right? They said it never hurts to try. They say you want something, you got to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you probably won't get it. If you ask for it, then you have a chance, a 50-50 chance of yes or no. If you don't ask for it, you got a 100% chance of no. So anyhow, they were trying and they were trying and they were trying. One day, Nityananda Prabhu, feeling immense compassion. This is his nature. It's his nature to feel compassion for the fallen jivas of this world. Why? Because we have come from him. When Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham bija pradapita, I am the seed-giving father of everything in existence, well, that seed-giving father experience manifests through the Baladev side. And Baladev manifests directly as Nityananda Prabhu. So he has a special affinity toward the jivas, like his own children. As any parent would always want the best for their child. Even if their child has gone wayward, still they want the best for their child. And they will tolerate so much abuse, even painful things, but always wishing the best for their child. Nityananda Prabhu is always wishing the best for all the fallen jivas of this world. Why am I calling it fallen jivas? It's the fallen conditioned souls. Fallen meaning not fallen from Vaikuntha, but just lowly, deen, heen, not humble, just lowly, adhama. Means we're absorbed in everything else other than Krishna Bhakti. So Nitai went to these two, please, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Chant the names of Krishna, worship Krishna, follow the instructions of Krishna. By this you will be happy. Nityananda Prabhu would beg everyone he would meet, chant the name of Krishna, chant the name of my Gauranga. These two became quite irate. One of them, I can't even remember at the moment, please forgive me, please post it if you know, threw his bottle at Nityananda Prabhu. And that bottle hit Nitai in the head and made him bleed. But Nitai did not feel angry or upset, right? We're going to sing that one next. Akrodha Paramananda. Akrod means no anger. He was saying, oh, look at this poor, unfortunate, fallen creature, this fallen personality who doesn't know left from right, wrong from left from right, wrong from right. He's completely intoxicated by this material world. There is no sin he has not committed. He needs help. They need help. So still, although he was hit in the head, he felt immense compassion for these two. But the message went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu heard, they hit my Nitai. He has such a possessive mood toward Nityananda Prabhu. Immediately he came rushing to that place. Who has done this to him? And he began roaring, Chakra, Chakra, calling for his Sudarshan Chakra. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrajamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sangstarpanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. Why does he come to this world from time to time? From millennium to millennium, yuga to yuga? to re-establish dharma and to root out adharma, irreligious activities, to protect the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants like Jagai and Madai. Except this time, as he was calling for his chakra, Nityananda Prabhu stopped him. My Lord, no. You have not come for this time. In other yugas, in Satya Yuga, the demon and devotee were in separate planets. Separate planets. And we've seen this also with the demons in Satya Yuga. They're in different locations, completely different planets. In Treta Yuga, on the same planet, like Sri Ram and Ravan. In Dvapara Yuga, in the same family. You've got the Pandavas and Kauravas. In Kali Yuga, in the same body. So if you kill them, everyone has demonic tendencies within them. Will you kill everyone? You have not come for this purpose. Your glory will truly be known if you can save these two. If you can awaken the devotee within them and remove the demon, then your glory will truly be known. So please give them your mercy. This is the process by which Sri Guru and Nityananda Prabhu is the unbroken original Guru Tattva, petitions on behalf of us. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja said, there is no sin that we have not committed millions of times over in our sojourn through our material existence. Whatever horrible, sinful act you can imagine, we have done it. You have done it millions of times over. And then Gurudev added, if you could even see the karmic result of 10 lifetimes, only 10, that is coming toward you, you would die of sheer fright. Once I caught a mouse, just a little mouse, in Vrindavan. I was trying to be gentle, so I caught him in a chadar. The mice are pretty robust. I just caught him in my chadar and I went to take him out, just to bring him out toward Jamuna's sand to let him go. And I opened the chadar and I was like, come on, these things can survive nuclear holocaust. What is it? Yeah, nuclear holocaust. And he just gave up his life. Maybe he felt, that's it, it's done. If we knew what was coming to us, we would die of sheer fright. So there's also no sin we haven't committed. So we take shelter of Guru, the representative Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who will petition the Lord profusely on our behalf. Shunya amara duk, Vaishnava Thakur, amalagi Krishne avedi bena prachur. Seeing my suffering, pitiful condition, no sin has been left unturned. Millions of times. Every sin, millions of times. So there's so much binding me here in this world, seeing my condition, how bound I am, and what a desperate situation I'm in. Sri Guru will petition the Lord profusely on our behalf, like Nityananda Prabhu petitioned Mahaprabhu profusely on their behalf. Yes, I know there's no sin they haven't committed. They have done everything. Please give them your mercy. They will petition the Lord profusely on our behalf. Vaishnavera avedane Krishna doyamoy, eheno pamare prati havena sadoy. Hearing the prayer of that pure, beloved devotee of his, Vaishnavera avedane, then the Lord will bestow his mercy. So Nityananda Prabhu was petitioning Mahaprabhu on their behalf. And they fell at the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. First, I didn't see here, Madai. So Jagai fell at the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. And Mahaprabhu first only wanted to give mercy to the one who did not throw it. But the other said, we are like two bodies with one soul and two bodies. We do everything together. Yesterday, he would have thrown it. Today, I threw it. Please, please also be merciful to me. So he fell at the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. And this is also a lesson. They're not falling directly at the feet of Mahaprabhu. They're falling at the feet of the person who's petitioning on their behalf. Because if you try to go direct, it might not work. But if you go to that person who has already successfully petitioned, it may work. So they're following that path. We follow the path where Krishna says, who says they are my devotee? They're not really my devotee, but who is the devotee of my devotee? They are my devotee. So they fell at the feet of Nityananda Prabhu, please be merciful to me. Nitai petitioned on their behalf. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prem, that dam was broken by Nityananda Prabhu, by his mercy. All of that which was held back, then Abadha Karuna Sindhu Katiya Muhan Ghare Ghare Bule Prem Amiyaraban. It was formally sealed up behind that dam, but the dam broke. When a dam breaks, you know what happens, right? Anything downstream from that, everything gets completely flooded, and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It completely takes everyone and everything in its path, even those who didn't want it. It was said in the previous translation in the other book, even those who did not want it. Everyone was being swept up by this prem, and this was by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So Srila Gurudev explained it like this, that he was the personality who broke that dam open. He has inundated the entire world with a flood of divine love or prem. Aniya premera banya bhashailo avani. Now, there's an important point here. Dubilo bhakatagana dinahino bhashe. The devotees are submerged in it, but the wretched and lowly remain floating. So for us, we need to take stock. You know, they have these things, they're called tsunami pods. Have you heard of them? It's like this big kind of ball thing you get into that's hermetically sealed. And if a tsunami is rolling in and you don't have any time to get out of the way, you get inside of this hermetically sealed ball, which is like a gyroscope. You remain in there and it'll just be tossed around by this tsunami. And then once the tsunami subsides, then you can get out of this ball because it will float above everything. So here it is saying, but the wretched and lowly remain floating. If we want, we can be drowned in that prem flood. But those who are kapata kutinat, who are cheaters, who are duplicitous, hypocrites, it's very, very difficult because the facade is there. Yes, I am going to be drowned in this flood, but we're putting ourselves in a tsunami pod so that we will just be floating above the surface and we won't be drowned in that ocean of prem. So for one to receive that mercy, although Nitai and Gauranga want to give it, one has to also give up their duplicity, their kapata, their kutinati. So what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tell these two? From this day forward, no more sinning. You give up all of that. And this is what happens at the time of initiation. Sri Guru is also telling us the same thing. Promise me you will never do it again. So in this connection, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja spoke about repentance. Because from that moment, they were feeling so remorseful. So much repentance was within them. Srila Gurudev explained, real repentance is not when you, for example, go to church on Sunday and apologize for what you've done, and then right after that, you go out and do the same thing again, and then you come back the next Sunday and say, I'm sorry for it, please forgive me, and then you go back out and do it again. That's not sincere. Real repentance, he said, is to make a very strong, solemn vow that I will never do this again, ever. And you will weep and cry and pray for forgiveness, feeling oneself lowly and fallen, and you will never do it again. Maybe there might be any slip up. We cannot guarantee that. But the intention and the motive, I will never do that thing again, ever. This is real repentance with that mood of desperation. So how were Jagai and Madai after that? It is said that Mahaprabhu took all of their sins, and as part of the Leela, he manifested himself in a very blackish complexion. You can only imagine how beautiful he must have been. The combined form of Radha and Krishna taking on this blackish complexion. Amazing. So by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he petitioned Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu removed all of those sins. Now, Krishna says it in Bhagavad Gita, for one who surrenders unto me. And how do you surrender? First to Guru, then it comes to Krishna. That's surrender. For one who surrenders unto me, sarva dharmam pratyajya, mam ekam sharanam vraja, ahang twang sarva papebhyo moksha. I will free you from all of the reactions to all of your simple activities. Ma shuchaha, you have my word. And it has been translated as, do not fear. So you have my word. But it's also the word of Nityananda Prabhu. So these two, Jagai and Madai, now they're not, they're actually Jagadananda and Madhavananda. Mahaprabhu said at that time, they are now pure. Anyone who judges them according to the activities that they have done before this moment, they will be guilty of aparad. Interesting, isn't it? Every sin under the sun, there was no sin they had not committed. And yet, it was cleaned in a moment. So there is hope for us as well. It was cleaned in a moment, but what was the kind of surrender that these two gave? By the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. They completely surrendered. And from that time, they never again did any simple activity. They only, with the most deep humility, served the Vaishnavas. They were only cleaning the ghats and assisting all of the Vaishnavas in whatever service they could, always weeping and always chanting the names of the Lord. This is the proof of true repentance. So, oftentimes, we see that people come to the path of bhakti. People come to the path of devotion. They accept Shri Guru in their life. They're chanting their Harinam, Diksha mantras, and endeavoring to move forward on the path of bhakti. But people judge them, you came from the West. Oh, you're a lady. Oh, you're black, or you're white, or you're this, or you're that. All of these different things. Even within Vaishnava circles, even now. And they're judging people according to where they were born, according to maybe what their parents used to eat, or anything like that. To judge a Vaishnava according to their previous activities before initiation, before accepting the path of devotion seriously in their life. To judge a Vaishnava from any material condition, this is considered aparad, and Hari Bhaktivedānta says, one is paving their own pathway to hell by this kind of mentality. Nityananda Prabhu did not discriminate. Mahaprabhu did not discriminate. So those who are discriminating cannot be said to be actually following Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. If they're discriminating according to color, race, country, sex, and all of that, in terms of who will become qualified to take up the path of bhakti. These two, Jagai and Madai, had committed the most amazing, horrible, atrocious, simple activities. I won't even go into them, but bad. But at that moment, everything was cut. This is the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And if we are a little bit sincere, then we can also be drowned in that tsunami of prem that Nityananda Prabhu delivered unto this world. So now, I'm going to read what Sonam wrote. When Nityananda Prabhu saw them first, he was told that people would go and bathe in the Ganga. And Nitai thought, if they get Mahaprabhu's mercy, they will be non-different to the Ganga. And that's what happened afterward. Nityananda Prabhu had delivered them in his heart at first sight only. Okay. Mind you, there is something very quick to consider in this. After coming to the path of Vaishnavism, after accepting Harinam and Diksha, and after accepting any role of responsibility, one should not be completely exempted from any nonsense activity they do. Otherwise, all of the instructions by our Gurudev, our Guru Varga, and Shastra about the qualities of a Vaishnava just would be completely useless. Then anyone could do anything and there would be no discrimination. Then the entire thing would become sahajya. That's what is the meaning of sahajya. Everything is made cheap. Everything is mundane, materialistic. Anyone, even a guru, can be running around with everyone else's wife or anyone else's husband, or stealing people's money, molesting people's children, and it's all okay. No, absolutely not. We have seen how our Guru Varga have dealt with this. So we should not just think, oh, they're a Vaishnava, so anything they will do, it's okay. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew about what Rai Ramananda was doing, Rai Ramananda's service was to train the Devi Dasis to dance for Jagannath, and he would also massage their bodies. Mahaprabhu said, only Ramananda can do this, no one else. So we should not just give a get out of jail free card to anyone who says, hey, I'm a Vaishnava. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, apichet suduracharo, right? It's very easy to throw around verses, but we should not exempt ourselves. If you read the purport of our Srila Bhaktivedānta Swami Prabhupada in the verse 921 of Bhagavad Gita, he gives some clarification there. And Srila Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Mahārāja, the godbrother of our Gurudev, he speaks that Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was speaking as one grihasta to another grihasta, from his position to Arjuna. But how was Mahaprabhu from a sannyasi toward a sannyasi, toward a renounced person, toward Chota Haridas? Now we have context. Mahaprabhu rejected him. And then when he heard that he underwent the proper prayashchitta, or atonement, for a fallen sannyasi, Mahaprabhu was very pleased in his heart to hear this. So there are different strokes for different folks. So we should not just leave it all as everything is cool and everything is hunky-dory and la-di-da, it's all candy floss. Then we'll lose the gurutva, the heaviness of the importance of what this path is. I just wanted to make sure that we made that point. Now we will call out to Sri Nityananda Prabhu in another bhajan, Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, page 60 by Srila Lochan Das Thakur. Again, in this one it's saying, Ghare Ghare Bule Prem Amiyaravan, going from house to house. And in the previous bhajan, and then in the next bhajan that we're doing now, it's saying, going door to door, dware dware giya, going from door to door. So Nityananda Prabhu, as the original guru, is showing by his own example how one should serve the Lord. He's going door to door with this message. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, Abhimano Shunyo Neta অভিমানো শূন্য নিতাই নগরে বেড়ায় অধম পতিত জীবের দ্বারে দ্বারে গিয়া অধম পতিত জীবের দ্বারে দ্বারে গিয় হরি নাম মহামন্ত্র দিচ্ছেন বিলাইয়া হরি নাম মহামন্ত্র দিচ্ছেন বিলাইয়া যারে দেখে তারে কোহে দন্তে তৃণ ধরি যারে দেখে তারে কোহে দন্তে তৃণ ধরি আমারে কিনিয়ালো বলো গোর হরি আমারে কিনিয়ালো বলো গোর হরি এত বলি নিত্যানন্দ ঘুমে গরি যায় এত বলি নিত্যানন্দ ঘুমে গরি যায় সোনার পর্বত যেন ধুলাতে লোটায় সোনার পর্বত যেন ধুলাতে লোটায় হেন অবতারে যা রতি না জন্মিল হেন অবতারে যা রতি না জন্মিল লোচন বলে সেই পাপি এলো यारो गेलो लोचन बोले से पापी एलो यारो गेलो अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद राय अभिमान शून्य नेताय नगरे बेराय अभिमान शून्य नेताय नगरे बेराय जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय निताई गौरांगो निताई गौरांगो निताई गौरांगो जय निताई गौरांगो निताई गौरांगो निताई गौरांगो निताई गौरांगो जय निताई गौरांगो बोलो गौर हरि 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 बोलो amare kiliyalo, bolo Gaura Hari, 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 bolo Nitai he Gaura he, Nitai he Gaura he, Nitai he Gaura he, Nitai he Gaura he. Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he holds a straw in his teeth and calls out to whomever he sees, please purchase me by calling out Gaura Hari. By calling out the name of Shachinandan Gaura Hari, you can purchase Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And he's going where? From door to door, begging. What does it mean, having a straw in one's teeth? As Srila Gurudev explained, if you put a straw in your teeth, in Vedic culture, ancient Vedic culture, it means I'm coming in a very subservient way. I'm coming as a beggar. Just like any foolish animal, like a cow, or okay, you can say foolish. The gopis also say they're foolish, or a horse, or a donkey, or anything. You put they have straw in their teeth. It's symbolic of this, that I'm coming with the most deep, humble request. Please, please, please. If you just chant the name of Gaura Hari, I will be yours. You can purchase me by that. And then as he's saying that, he begins rolling on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain tumbling in the dust. Can you imagine how beautiful, how majestic, how amazing Nityananda Prabhu coming to your door with a straw in his teeth, begging you, please chant the name of my Gauranga. Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Begging, I will be yours, I will be yours. He feels indebted to anyone who chants the name of Gaura Hari. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja explained what kind of indebtedness he feels. Sri Nityananda Prabhu, when he feels indebted, he will never forget any little thing you do for him. Srila Gurudev said once there was a barber, and this barber would move from village to village with all of his tools for cutting hair and everything else, going from place to place. And one day, as this barber was walking from one village to the next, he saw on the path something that startled him. There was a lion sitting there, and he, for one moment, became a little bit concerned. But then he looked and he saw this lion. This lion was licking his paw, and he just looked up at the barber and then looked back down at his paw and was licking his paw. That barber looked kind of closely to see what's going on. Why is he not attacking me? And he noticed that there was a big thorn lodged in the paw of this lion. So, taking a risk, he went over to that lion. The lion knew that he was going to help him. Using some of his barber tools, he removed that thorn, put some leaves, some antiseptic, and put a bandage wrap around the paw of that lion. And then went on his way. Many years later, this same barber was falsely accused for something like murder. And the king of that land where he was said, he's guilty, throw him in the pit of lions. this is how his life will be ended, finished like this. So they did just that. They had kept that lions very, very hungry. They threw him in the pit and released the lion. That lion went running, very hungry, toward this barber and jumped. And he was roaring. And just then he recognized, oh, that's the one who removed that thorn from my foot and helped me when I was in so much pain. That lion stopped. Maybe you've seen some videos. They pop up on Facebook every once in a while or on YouTube. Anyone who has made a bond with a lion, most people would be deathly afraid, but there are some people, they will go out into the jungle and they had made that bond, and those lions will do what? Massive, massive lions. They will embrace them and lick them and love them. They remember years later. So this lion remembered, oh, he has done this one thing for me. Immediately he stopped and was purring and very affectionate toward this barber. The king thought, oh, this is proof that he is not guilty. So he gave him an apology and a full pardon. So Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja explained how Śrī Nityananda Prabhu is. If anyone does any little thing for him, he feels indebted and cannot forget it. Like this. If we just chant the name of Gaura Hari, he says, then you can purchase me. So by that, simply by chanting the names of Gaura Hari, and by following the instructions of Gaura Hari, by chanting the names of Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha, Nityananda Prabhu will feel, I am yours, I am yours. Lochan Das always follows with a very strong kind of warning. That sinful person who has not experienced the awakening of attachment for such an avatar simply comes and goes in the endless cycle of birth and death. Since I just said Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha, we will sing Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Page 163. By Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. It reminds me also how our Srila Gurudev said, please be merciful to me and become happy. Chant your Harinam. Be merciful to me by becoming happy yourself and chant your Harinam. Nityananda Prabhu is saying, just chant the name of Gaura Hari and I am yours. This is mercy to him. Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Shradhavana Jana He Shradhavana Jana He Shradhavana Jana He Shradhavana Jana He Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiyache Nama Hata Jivera Karan Nadiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan patiyache namahat jivero karun. Prabhuraya gyai bhai magi e bhika, Prabhuraya gyai bhai magi e bhika. Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna koro Krishna shiksha, Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna koro Krishna shiksha. Nodiya godume nityananda mahajan, patiyache namahat jivera karun. Nodiya godrume nityananda mahajan, patiyache namahat jivera karun. Aparadha shunya hoye loho Krishna naam, Aparadha shunya hoye loho Krishna naam. Krishna mata Krishna pita Krishna dhano pran, Krishna mata Krishna pita Krishna dhano pran. Nodiya godrume nityananda mahajan, patiyache namahat jivera karun. Nodiya godrume nityananda mahajan, patiyache namahat jivera karun. Krishnera sansara koro chari anachar, Krishnera sansara koro chari anachar. Jive doya Krishna nama sarva dharma sar, Jive doya Krishna nama sarva dharma sar. Nodiya godrume nityananda mahajan, patiyache namahat jivera karun. Nodiya godrume nityananda mahajan, patiyache namahat jivera karun. Nitai 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 he, 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 nitai 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 he. Nityananda Ram Jai Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram Jai Nityananda Ram Jai Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram Jai Nityananda Ram. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. So this is the essence of all instructions. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja would refer to this bhajan quite often. On the island of Godrum, in the land of Nadia, the magnanimous personality Sri Nityananda Prabhu has opened a marketplace of the holy name for the benefit of all living beings. There he calls out, O persons of faith, O persons of faith, that is Shraddhavan Janahe. On the order of Sri Gauranga, O brothers, I beg these alms from you. He's begging something from us. So the marketplace is for him to beg something and also for him to give something. What is he begging? Bolo Krishna, chant the names of Krishna, bhajo Krishna, worship Krishna, serve Krishna, and koro Krishna shiksha, follow the instructions of Krishna. Now, aparada shunya hoye loho Krishna nam. Being free of offenses, chant the holy names of Krishna. Mahaprabhu also said this, Nir aparada nam loilo pai premadhan. By chanting the holy name without offense, then prem will manifest, prem will come. Then he's saying here, Krishna Mata, Krishna is your mother, Krishna Pita, Krishna is your father, Krishna Dhanapran, and Krishna is the treasure of our life. Again, here we are hearing by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu is saying, Krishnera sangsara koro. Enter into Krishna sangsar. Both are busy. Maya sangsar is busy, Krishna sangsar is busy. Maya sangsar will keep you bound in the repetition of birth, disease, old age, and death, adhyatmic, adhibautic, adhidaivik miseries, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, birth, disease, old age, and death, and endless suffering, dukkha doshanu darshanam. This is Maya Sangsar. Enter into Krishna Sangsar. What is Krishna Sangsar? Anyone who has lived in the temple, in the mutt, or who was present at the time of Srila Prabhupada, knows what Krishna Sangsar is. Waking up very early in the morning, doing all of the spiritual activities, including 4 or 5 classes a day, doing book distribution all day, serving and cleaning, and all of the artis, and even the last, the Krishna book reading at night before falling asleep. All of the activities fully absorbed in Krishna Sangsar. Krishnera Sangsar Koro, Chari Anachar, and give up all bad activities. Achar means good, and Anachar means bad. Maybe my pronunciation is wrong. Achar can also mean pickle if you say it wrong, but I don't know the proper pronunciation. Sonam can help me with that. So, Krishnera Sangsara Koro Chari Anachar. Jive Doya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharmasar. So Mahaprabhu has ordered it, and his followers, including Nityananda Prabhu, are preaching it. Jive Doya, be merciful to the jivas. Jiva duke sadataya Śrī Nama Premadayane. Here we say Jive Doya Krishna Nam. So here it's saying, be merciful, show compassion upon all the living beings, and chant the holy names of Krishna, which is the essence of all dharma, or all aspects of religion. But also, not just chanting it. How can you be merciful? Give Krishna. This is how one can be merciful to the jivas. Not by telling them about the politics of this world, not by telling them about all of our beliefs about what's going on here and there, which may or may not be right. What is right? What is true? What is the truth? Advaigyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. Krishna is true. Srimati Radhika is true. Sachinandan Gaura Hari is true. Patit Pavan Sri Nityananda Prabhu is true. Nitayar Charana Satya Tahara Sevaka Nitya. The lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. They are the truth. So sharing about Krishna, about transcendental subject matters, this is truth, and this will keep one's mind absorbed in Krishna Sangsar. And wherever the mind goes, the body goes, the activities go, naturally. So if the mind is absorbed because of association, because of hearing, if the mind is absorbed in Krishna Sangsar, then all of the body's activities will also become absorbed in Krishna Sangsar. As we hear with Mahārāja Ambarish, Sabai Manak Krishna Padar Vindya Vachang Sibai Kunta Gunanu Varnane Karo Hare Mandir Marjanadishu. As Mahārāja Ambarish's mind is always absorbed, first and foremost the mind. Sabai Mana Krishna Padar Vindya, absorbed in serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Then from there, the hands, the eyes, the tongue, the nose, the ears, the legs, everything is utilized in the service of the Lord. So I just referenced Nitayar Charana Satya, Tahara Sevaka Nitya. So now we will go to Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Je Chhayai Jagata Jurai. And before we sing it, we're going to read it. That is page 58 in our book. Otherwise, it is posted by Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Page 58 by Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur. Nitai Pado Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Nitai Pado Kamala. I said I would read it first, didn't I? Let's read it first and then we'll go back. The lotus feet of Nitai are as cooling as millions of moons. Their shade gives solace to the entire universe. So we have heard this in the first verse of Śrī Satyavrata by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. What is this cooling of millions of moons? Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala. What is this cooling? My sangsar in this material world. Gurudev said it is like an ocean of oil that is on fire. And we are burning in this material world, whether we realize it or not. Sangsara davanala, blazing forest fire of material existence. But if one takes shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, then the effect will be like the cooling effect of millions of moons. Means that blazing forest fire, that blazing oil fire will be extinguished, and one will feel cool, one will feel pacified. That burning feeling will be extinguished by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, and he manifests first and foremost to us in the form of Sri Guru. So Koti Chandra Shushitala. Their shade gives solace to the entire universe. Without a personality such as Nitai, O brother, it is not possible to attain Radha and Krishna. So firmly take hold of his lotus feet. Again and again it is said, without his mercy, one cannot attain Radha and Krishna. Why? Because how does one attain Radha Krishna? Especially now, you cannot go directly to Radha and Krishna. One can attain to Radha and Krishna by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya is the combined form of Radha and Krishna, non-different. That's why it's okay to worship him with Radha and Krishna in this form. So, Gaur Prema Rasarnave Se Taranga Jeviruve Se Radha Madhava Antaranga. Diving deep into the ocean of Gaur Prem, one will surface in the association of Sri Radha Madhava in Vrindavan. This is our process. But how does one get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu? Well, one cannot just go to Gauranga. You have to go to Nityananda Prabhu first. As we know with Raghunath Das Goswami. I'm not going to tell his whole history because we have actually discussed it many times in the last few weeks. But Raghunath Das Goswami had first gone to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu sent him home. He said, don't be like a mad fellow. Go home, be like normal in the world so that no one can understand what's going on in your heart. And there, remember Krishna and develop in your sadhan bhajan. And when the time is right, Krishna will make all arrangements for you. So Raghunath Das Goswami did just that. He was sent home by Mahaprabhu. Basically, you're not qualified yet. Go home. Raghunath Das Goswami thereafter, by dint of following the instruction of Mahaprabhu, right? Yasya prasada bhagavad prasada yasya prasada nagati kutopi. By the mercy of Krishna, one receives Guru. By the mercy of Guru, one receives Krishna. There's no other way. Means there's a preliminary mercy and then a full mercy. Because the mercy of Krishna actually manifests to us in this world in the form of Guru. So it so happened that Raghunath Das Goswami received the opportunity to go see Nityananda Prabhu, who was nearby. Raghunath Das Goswami was hiding off in the distance. Nityananda Prabhu heard, Raghunath is there. Oh Raghunath, come here. Only a thief hides in the distance. Come here. I must give you your due punishment. He's calling him a thief. Nityananda Prabhu has a mood which is quite avadhut. It's very difficult to understand him. Oh, he's calling him a thief and saying, come here. So Raghunath Das came in front of all of the devotees and offered his dandavat pranam at the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who at that time appeared so beautiful, like millions of moons, surrounded by thousands of devotees. Raghunath Das Goswami offered dandavat pranam at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, who placed his two lotus feet on the head of Raghunath Das Goswami. Jai Chhayai Jagatu Jurai. Right? Their shade gives solace to the entire universe. Lotus feet of Nitai are as cooling as millions of moons. So by that, then Nityananda Prabhu gave him his due punishment. What was his punishment? Serve all of the Vaishnavas. So a big festival ensued. Chidda Dahi Mahamahotsava means flat rice and yogurt festival. Raghunath Das Goswami served hundreds of thousands of Vaishnavas at this place, Pani Hatti. So there, after that, then Raghunath Das Goswami was able to go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Why? Nityananda Prabhu told him, you're a thief because you tried to take what belongs to me, what is my property, without first getting permission or coming to me. What belongs to Nityananda Prabhu? Sachinandan Gaura Hari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to Nityananda Prabhu. So you cannot just go to Mahaprabhu. He will see, oh, you're a thief. You're trying to take what doesn't belong to you. You first come to me. Then you will have that right. So then Raghunath Das Goswami was sent onward to Mahaprabhu. Immediately Mahaprabhu put Raghunath Das Goswami under the care of Śrī Dāmodara Goswami. This is our process. If you see the life of Raghunath Das Goswami, the path that he followed, that is the path that our Srila Gurudev said eventually we will all have to follow. What did Mahaprabhu do? He didn't keep him himself. Immediately he gave him unto Śrī Dāmodara Goswami. Thereby this Raghunath Das became known as Swaruper Raghu, the Raghunath of Śrī Dāmodara Goswami. Who is Śrī Dāmodara Goswami in Krishna Lila? Lalita Sakhi. Who is Raghunath Das Goswami in Krishna Lila? Rati Manjari. So in this connection, you see how under the guidance, in the group of Lalita Sakhi, and of course under the guidance of Sri Rupa. So only by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu can one attain the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Only by the mercy of Mahaprabhu can one arrive in the association of Radha and Krishna. So if we follow the proper process, we will understand that it is not possible to attain Radha and Krishna without the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Now, say Sambandha nahi jar brita janma gelotar, say pashu boro durachar. If one does not come in process, it's one of the first instructions our Srila Gurudev gave me. You should come in process. You should follow the process properly. You should accept initiation from any bona fide spiritual master. Ado Guru Parashra is the first step on the path of bhakti. If we are lacking that or not praying for it, hoping for it, or striving for it, and think that on my own I can do it, we won't be able to move. It's like a ship without a rudder. We can go in any direction without any control. The Guru is the captain, is the one guiding us. And Nityananda Prabhu manifests in the form of Guru for our benefit. So here it's saying, if someone does not establish a relationship with him, his human birth is wasted. Well, what happens? Nityananda Prabhu manifests in the form of Sri Guru. If one does not come in process and take shelter of Sri Guru, then they will be bereft of the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. That is the form of Nityananda Prabhu in our life. Srila Gurudev explained. One devotee asked, where is Nityananda Prabhu? He said he is manifested here in the form of Gurudev. So if one does not develop a relationship with Sri Guru, by which dadati pratigunati guhyamakyati prachiti bhunkte bhojayate chaiva shadvidam pritilakshanam, by which the 6 symptoms of loving affection will take place. That is sambandha, relationship will manifest. When that relationship manifests, naturally, Guru will give something to that disciple, and that disciple will feel indebted and will also give something to Guru. Service will follow the instructions, the order of Guru. Without that, then one is considered no different than an animal, because they will just continue revolving in sangsar through 8,400,000 different species of life. Say pashu boro durachar. So the human birth is wasted, and such an animalistic person is very wicked. Say pashu boro durachar. Like Shastra says, dvipada pashu, two-legged animals. You might have the human form, but if one does not utilize the human form for its purpose, and instead only lives out their human form of life in a glorified animalistic way, then what is the difference? Then that is considered very wicked, because I have received this extremely valuable, rare human form of life, which gives me the opportunity to endeavor for perfection. Nirdehamadyam sulabam sudolabam plavam sukalpam guru karnadaram mayanu kulyena nabhasvataritam puman bhababdim nataretsa atmaha. It gives us the opportunity to endeavor for perfection, only the human form. One who does not take advantage of the valuable human form of life for attaining that perfection, which is loving service to the Lord. They are considered no better than butchers or those who are killers of their own selves. Butchers or killers of their own selves. Puman bhavabdhim natare sa atmaha. Atmaha is atmahanta. It is like suicide of the soul, meaning you will be bound in this samsara for God knows how long. So take advantage of that possibility. I'm seeing here, Vidya kula ki kori betar. Our Srila Gurudev would always say, what university did Hanuman go to? What university did Haridas Thakur go to? What university did Gorgishoras Babaji Maharaj go to? University or material education is not a requirement for pure bhakti. It can be an impediment, but it's definitely not a requirement. Simple-heartedness, straightforwardness, humility, sincerity, maybe desperation. They can be qualifications for bhakti. Definitely intense greed, desire for it. But high education can actually be an impediment. So here he's saying, what then can his education and pedigree do for that person? If Nitai is merciful, one can attain Radha and Krishna in Braj. So firmly take hold of his two lotus feet. Here it's also saying, maddened by false pride and forgetting Nitai's lotus feet, one considers illusion to be truth. The lotus feet of Nitai are eternal truth. Nitayer charana satya tahara sevaka nitya. Nitai pada sada koro asha. Tahara sevaka nitya. And his servants are eternal. Nitai pada, the lotus feet of Nitai, sada koro asha. Always aspire to attain them. Now here Narottama is showing his humility. Narottama boro duki. Narottama is very sad. Nitai more koro suki. Oh Nitai, please make me happy. How? Rakho ranga charanerapash. Please keep me close to the reddish soles of your lotus feet. By taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, then everything will manifest. All of our necessities will manifest. Remember, Nityananda Prabhu manifests in our life directly in the form of Śrī Guru. Nitai pado kamala koti chandra shushitala. Nitai pado kamala koti chandra shushitala. Je chhayai jagat jurai. Je chhayai jagat jurai. Heno nitai vine bhai Radha Krishna paite na. Heno nitai vine bhai Radha Krishna paite na. Dridha kori dharo nitar pai. Dridha kori dharo mukhe mojino sangsaro sukhe nitai na bolilo mukhe mojino sangsaro sukhe vidya kule ki koribe ta vidya kule ki koribe ta ahankare moto hoiya nitai pado pasoriya ahankare moto hoiya nitai pado pasoriya asatyere satya korimani asatyere satya korimani nitayer koruna have Braje Radha Krishna pave nitayir karuna have Braje Radha Krishna pave haro nitayir charana dukhani haro nitayir charana dukhani nitayir charana satya tahara sevaka nitya nitayir charana satya tahara sevaka nitya nitai pado sada kuru yasha 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 Narottama Varo Dukhi Nitai More Koro Sukhi Narottama Varo Dukhi Nitai More Koro Sukhi Rakho Ranga Charanero Pasho Rakho Ranga charanero pasho Rakho Ranga charanero pasho Rakho Ranga charanero pasho Nitai he 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 Jayo Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Jayo Nityananda Ram Jayo Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Jai Nityananda Ram Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. So just remember, Guru Kripa bina nahi koi sadhana bal. Why do I keep linking Nityananda Prabhu to Shri Guru? Sankarshana karanatoyashaye garbhodashaye chapayodishaye sheshashtayashyang sakalasa nityanandakya rama sharanam mamastu. This is glorifying Nityananda Prabhu as non-different from Baladev Prabhu. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja explains that if one understands the tattva of Baladev Prabhu, they will never have to take birth again in this material world. I don't understand it, but today something clicked a little bit more. So I'm getting excited because, at least theoretically, there's some kind of flow. So we keep linking Nityananda Prabhu to Gurudev, but I want to start with the beginning. From Krishna himself, he is composed of Sat Chit Ananda. So Sat is eternal existence or Sandhini Shakti. Chit is knowledge, is relationship, is bhav. And that is Sambit Shakti. And Ananda, that is bliss, love, happiness, pleasure. And that is Hladini Shakti. The Adhishtatri Devata, or the predominating deity of existence potency, is Baladev Prabhu. The Adhishtatri Devata of Sambit, or rasa, relationship, knowledge, potency, that is Krishna himself. And the Adhishtatri Devata of Ananda or Hladini Shakti, that is Srimati Radhika herself. All three in one, that is considered to be the absolute truth. From one side, Baladev Prabhu manifests, from the other side, Radhika manifests. Actually, this is spoken like this to give us some kind of idea. But the truth is there ever a time when Baladev did not exist? Is there ever a time when Radhika did not exist? Or Krishna? No. There was also never a time when the jiva, us, did not exist. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor everyone else, all of these kings, nor in the future shall you ever cease to be. So if there is never a time when I didn't exist, then how can there be a time when Baladev and Srimati Radhika didn't exist? They're eternal, transcendental personalities. But for the purpose of giving us some kind of linear idea of how things take place, because we think along linear lines generally, timelines, then it is said that from Krishna's right side, Baladev Prabhu manifested, Balaram. And from his left side, Srimati Radhika manifested. So, all three together, that is Sat Chit Ananda. So, in all of Vedic scriptures, in all of our Shastras, every single concept has a predominating deity behind it. Every single one of Radhika's particular flavors of love and affection for Krishna has a form, and that is a form of a gopi. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhista Virya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalabi. Nija Rupataya, her own manifestations of her own bhavs. That is called Nija Rupataya, Kala. So all of the moods also have personification. So the personification of, or the predominating deity of, existence itself is Baladev Prabhu, Balaram. And because of existence, then technically, theoretically, according to the words of our Guru Varga, that includes the forms of Krishna, Radhika, all of the transcendental associates, Vrindavan Dham, the flute, Krishna's paraphernalia, his clothes, the trees, everything. And Baladev Prabhu manifests himself also as all of the foundation by which Krishna plays upon. Before Krishna descends, Baladev Prabhu descends and makes that foundation. So he's serving in every way, in every rasa also. We're not going to go deeply into it, but he's serving in all ways. It's his nature, although he is non-different from Krishna. Why are we speaking about Balaram? Because it is he himself who manifested as Nityananda Prabhu. So their tattva is the same. There's no difference between the two. Only a speciality. So Nityananda Prabhu, Baladev Prabhu, serves in all ways Even though it is said that there's only a difference between him and Krishna in terms of their complexion, still the intrinsic essential speciality of Baladev Prabhu or Nityananda Prabhu is that every particle of his being is meant only for the loving service of Krishna. Even though technically, theoretically, he is not different from Krishna, and neither is Srimati Radhika. Now we have one soul in three forms. But still, for the purpose of pastimes, they're eternally manifest in these forms. So this Baladev Prabhu is serving in all ways, in every way. The original Baladev is in Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityaja padam ekam nagacchati. And that Balaram never steps one footstep outside of Vrindavan. If he steps a footstep outside, then you will see Baladev of Mathura, Balaram of Mathura. The Balaram of Mathura is the first or the root Sankarshan. Sankarshan means who's attracting. So he's the root of all of the rest. The original root, of course, is Balaram, but from there he's the first Sankarshan, Vasudev Sankarshan Pradumna Aniruddha in Mathura, Mool Sankarshan. And then from that first Chaturvyuha, Vasudev Sankarshan Pradumna Aniruddha manifests a second Chaturvyuha. That is in Vaikuntha. Vasudev Sankarshan Pradumna Aniruddha. That Sankarshan is known as Mahasankarshan. From there, from him manifests the Purusha avatars. Means who are creating. So from him comes then Karana Dakshai Vishnu, who has some kind of relation to the material worlds. Why? Because he's creating them. And there's some desire to create them. From that Karana Dakshai Vishnu comes Garbho Dakshai Vishnu, who is presiding within each universe, within the womb of each universe, as the maintainer of each universe. That is Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. And then from him manifests Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu. Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is residing on the ocean of milk, or the ocean of Kir, within each universe. There's a particular special place within each universe, and that is the form that Lord Brahma goes to the bank of that Kir Sagar, the ocean of milk, and prays within the core of his heart when the demigods are petitioning, we need help, there's too many demons, help us out, please. Lord Brahma goes on their behalf and prays at the bank of the Kir Sagar. Vishnum Jishnum Mahavishnum Prabhavishnum Maheshwara Anek Rupaya Vishnave Prabhavishnave, praying all these prayers, and then within his heart, Taine Brahmahrida, he receives a message from Vishnu. All of you should take birth in the families of any pious families in the world, in the earth, or in any place, and I will soon come, but you should prepare the way, and then I will come and I will perform my pastimes and rid the world of the demons, etc., etc. So this is Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu. Interestingly, in this connection, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja explained that another meaning of Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu. Why does Baladev Prabhu manifest in this way? Or Nityananda Prabhu? What is Kshiro? What is Kshir? It is milk. What is milk? It is what mother gives to nurture her children. So Nityananda Prabhu or Baladev Prabhu is giving the milk which nurtures our bhakti, our devotion to Krishna. So this Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu has another form. Just bear with me. It's essential. Oh, thank you, Devaki. Yeah, I was going to ask you that question. She already won it. But since today is technically, we're following an Ekadashi fast, so you're going to get a fruit salad and a paneer patty. It's not for eating together, by the way. So, fruit salad with cream, Devaki style. So, then this Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu manifests in the form of Paramatma. vyasti. Paramatma is present within every atom of creation and also outside of it, within everyone's heart, as Chaitya Guru. He's present in everything as the supreme witness, and as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I direct the wanderings of all of the living entities according to their desires. That Paramatma in the heart, or Chaitya Guru, when any sincere soul is desperate for mercy, because the jiva, jive shakshat nahitate guru chaitya rupe, cannot directly perceive the presence of the super soul within the heart and communicate with him directly unless he's already liberated. Srila Prabhupada writes this in the purport of 4th canto. Oh gosh, I can't remember the exact place. If he's liberated, then he can directly communicate with Paramatma in the heart. Otherwise, Paramatma steps outside. Chaitya Guru manifests externally to the external senses of the jiva in the form of Diksha and Shiksha Gurus. So this is also Baladev or Nityananda Tattva. Guru Nityananda. That's why Gurudev said, Nityananda Prabhu is present directly before you in the form of Sri Guru. Now from Paramatma as a witness, a passive witness, now this Paramatma Chaitya Guru has manifested externally as a witness. He knows and sees everything, but he is no longer passive, he is active. And his function is to help us discriminate between what is favorable and what is unfavorable for bhakti. And then the last limit is called Shesha. There is Ananta Shesha. Ananta Shesha means unlimited. Ananta means unending, literally. Anta means the end, and ananta means without end. So this Ananta has unlimited hoods, and he's carrying all of the universes on his hoods. It is said like mustard seeds. And this Ananta, since beginning of time, has been endeavoring to glorify Krishna with his unlimited mouths, and he feels incapable of even scratching the surface. He's also taking the form as the beds of the Vishnu avatars. And from this Kshirodakshayi Vishnu comes, mostly from Kshirodakshayi Vishnu comes all of the Purusha avatars, means the Yuga avatars, the Leela avatars, etc. He's the one that Brahma prays to, and then he manifests as all of these other forms. So this is essentially the tattva of Baladev, how he's manifesting in every way to serve the Lord in every capacity and every function. Not Shiro, Kshiro, K-S-I, or Kiro Dakshayi Vishnu. Milk or kheer. Regarding that in the 4th canto, I can't remember, maybe it's a section describing Puranjan, I'm not exactly sure. But that is the proof that one requires to have Sri Guru directly in front of our physical senses until we're actually liberated and we're able to directly communicate with Paramatma in the heart. Sri Guru is able to do that because they're always witnessing Krishna. That is called Tattvadarshi. They're able to directly communicate with Krishna. But for us, who are bound in this material world, because of that, we cannot directly communicate with Paramatma in the heart, although he is always speaking to us. But sometimes we misunderstand and we are hearing the voice of our mind or intelligence or false ego, and we don't know which one is which. And so we might listen to the wrong one and get ourselves into a little bit of a kind of a trouble. So therefore, to help us, he manifests externally in the form of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. One can have only one Diksha Guru, unless that person falls down, in which case they will have to receive it again from a proper Diksha Guru. But one can have many Shiksha Gurus, but among many Shiksha Gurus, one will select one as their primary bhajan Shiksha Guru. All of this is the manifestation of Sri Nityananda Prabhu or Sri Nityananda Prabhu or Baladev Prabhu. And Srila Gurudev said, anyone who understands this flow, they will never have to take birth again in this cycle of repeated birth and death. So I'm endeavoring to try to understand it, although it is completely beyond the capacity of any material mind. Even Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, in endeavoring to glorify Nityananda Prabhu, curses himself. What audacity! A person like me trying to glorify someone whose glories are unlimited. What to speak of someone like myself? We have a question here from Rudra Gupta. Also, why does Radharani shy when Nityananda Prabhu is present, since he's also an Angamanjari? Nityananda Prabhu or Baladev Prabhu is also an Angamanjari, but we should understand there's a speciality. Will Srimati Radhika ever meet conjugally with Baladev Prabhu? Absolutely not. That is rasabhas. Although Baladev and Krishna are non-different. And Radhika is also non-different from Baladev and Krishna. Still, there's a speciality. And we need to make sure that the lines are clearly defined with this speciality. Otherwise, we can create the fault of rasabhas, which creates a massive, massive difficulty. Radhika sees Baladev as Krishna's older brother. How does one, in Indian culture, how does a young wife see her husband's older brother? Tauji, with great respect, like Guru, in a very, very respectful and honorific way. In other words, the young wife will never associate closely with her husband or beloved in front of his older brother. Never. Because there's proper respect and saman. So Srimati Radhika would not do such a thing. As Ananga Manjari, that's a different tattva. So Baladev has another expansion as Ananga Manjari, or Baladev Shakti as Ananga Manjari, in which case Ananga Manjari can serve Srimati Radhika and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan, and there's no harm in that. It's a different aspect, a different form. So from that perspective, then we can understand. Also, in this connection, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja explained that Nityananda Prabhu is always serving and assisting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we do not see him doing so in the Gambhira. And even at certain points in time during Rathayatra, when Mahaprabhu is experiencing Radha Bhav, then Nityananda Prabhu cannot be so physically present, has to be distant, because Radhika will not meet with Krishna in front of Baladev Prabhu. Srila Gurudev explained that when Mahaprabhu would go to the Jagannath temple in Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was that of Srimati Radhika, seeing Sakshat Brajendra Nandan. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita states this very clearly. Directly Brajendra Nandan, not Jagannath. And Gurudev said that he would stand in such a way, you know, if you've ever been in the mandir, it's a way to stand, that he could not see Baladev or Subhadra because he was in the mood of Radhika having darshan of Brajendra Nandan Shyamasundar Krishna of Vrindavan. So this meeting would not take place directly. In fact, in that painting, when Krishna is, our Gurudev had it done by Śrī Didi, when Krishna and Balaram and the cowherd boys are going to the forest in the morning, there are some gopis off in the corner. Srila Gurudev explained, Śrī Didi told us, that Baladev Prabhu knows that Krishna wants to meet with the gopis, at least by eye, casting sidelong glances. So Baladev moves ahead so he doesn't disrupt the meeting of Krishna. He goes ahead with the other cowherd boys. So this is something important to take into consideration. And our Srila Gurudev would use this term again and again, especially with Nikunja Lila. No other male form can enter. No other male form. Not in the Nikunja Lila or Nivrita Nikunja Lila. Very secret, deep intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Only Krishna. No other male form can enter. Can we talk about Ananga Manjari another day? Because she's got her own special tattva. Nitai is the gateway to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the gateway to Radha and Krishna. Without Nitai, you cannot get the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Without Mahaprabhu, you cannot get the mercy of Radha and Krishna. So that's our gateway. That's our process as sadhakas coming in. Gaur Parivar, Rupanuga means an anugatya, or the guidance of those who are true followers of Rupa Goswami. That is our process. So I mentioned Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami just before, how he was feeling so unqualified and so like almost cursing himself. What audacity do I have? But still, for my own benefit, I must. And I've been ordered to do so by my superiors. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami has taken this mood to serve by glorifying Sri Nityananda Prabhu, although he feels himself completely inadequate. So Krishna Das Kaviraj, Sudevi?
Did it stop?
No, are you going to be able to say anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami was at the house of his older brother. And in that place, one great devotee named Miniketan Ram, he came to that place. Miniketan Ram was a very, very interesting Vaishnava. All who knew of him respected him greatly. He would always chant the name of Nitai, 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 with tears in his eyes. And he was quite eccentric. He would hit people with his flute or smack them. Say, how are you? Nitai, chant the names of Nitai. And they would feel like Prem would be manifesting, arising within their hearts. He would jump on people's shoulders and ride. He was quite eccentric, wild, avadut-like. So he went to this place. There was a festival, and he went there invited. At that time, everyone stood to honor him and greet him, except for one, the pujari. The pujari did not stand to greet him. And this Miniketan Ram said, oh, I see we have here the second Romaharshan. Do you know who Romaharshan is? Romaharshan was the person who was selected by the 80,000 rishis to speak Śrīmad Bhagavatam. He was considered the most respectable and most knowledgeable. So they placed him on the Vyas Asan, the seat of Vyas, and he was there to speak Bhagavatam. At that moment, Baladev Prabhu entered into the assembly, and what happened? All stood to greet Baladev Prabhu, except for one, the person sitting on the seat of Vyas. Immediately, Baladev Prabhu knew this person is not qualified to be in this position. He does not recognize Guru Tattva, and yet he's taking the highest position, sitting on the seat of Vyas. This person is a fraud. Everyone else thought, he's the qualified person. Baladev Prabhu took one blade of kusha grass and touched Romaharshan with it, and Romaharshan lost his life. Just like that. All of the sages and everyone were like, oh no, what are we going to do? Baladev Prabhu was like, you want me to bring him back to life? No. As you've done, it is perfect. But we wanted to hear Śrīmad Bhagavatam. So what can we do? Baladev Prabhu put his hands on the head of Romaharshan's son, Ugrashrava Sutta. He had a voracious appetite for hearing. Placed his hands on his head and poof, manifested within him in one moment all Tattva Gyan, Tattva Siddhanta, Ras, everything. He understood and realized everything. And when you read Śrīmad Bhagavatam and you hear Śrīmad Bhagavatam, what do you hear? Shri Sutta Uvacha. Sutta Goswami said, that's him. That is him. So Romaharshan, Miniketan said, oh, I see we have here a second Romaharshan. Why? Because he could see that this pujari was not acknowledging or recognizing. In fact, when Shri Guru arrives, this is the only time when one can stop their service and puja and everything and acknowledge and receive Guru. But anyone else, you cannot stop your service or your puja. But for Gurudev, you can. Because Krishna himself says, Pratamam tu Gurum Pujam. First of all, you worship Gurudev. Then after that, everything would be okay. If not, then no fruit, fruitless. So, this pujari's mood was something like that. Why is he only chanting Nitai Nitai but not glorifying Gauranga? And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's older brother started asking these questions. Yeah, why is he always... And it wasn't bad, but he was like, why isn't he ever glorifying Gauranga? Only he's saying Nitai, 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 Nitai. Miniketan was like, don't you understand? There's no difference between Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. To see that there's a difference between the two, this is like the logic of half a hen. You want to take the part that lays the egg, but you don't want to feed it. So if you get rid of one, if you disrespect one, like this. So it's very, very powerful instruction in this, that Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu, there is no difference between the two. So Miniketan became quite angry and left that place, upset, breaking his precious flute and throwing it to the ground. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami realized, if such a great Vaishnava like this is offended and upset, then... How did you know, Sudevi? How did you know that they would turn it off?
How are we going to show her?
Hold on. Look, it's in the dark. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. I just wanted to share. Actually, it's really good that this is happening right now. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami realized darkness will descend upon that household. What is the meaning of this darkness? What is the meaning of losing everything like that? Hold on, let me just see if I can. I didn't have that planned. It just happened. What is the meaning? Hare Krishna. Whoa, saturated. If a great Vaishnava is offended, it literally will go dark. So Srila Gurudev explained what this means. He said it means that you will lose your inclination in bhakti. Everything will go to hell. And how will you know? Your desire for kanaka, kamani, and pratishta will increase. And your attraction for sadhu sangha, nam kirtan, bhagavat shravan, maturabha, shrimutir shradhaya sevan, all of that will diminish more and more until it ceases to exist. This is the result of Vaishnava aparad. So let me explain that in English. How do you know? What is the meaning of this darkness? Then the increase of desire for material wealth. The increase of the desire for sense gratification. The increase of the desire for name, fame, position, adoration, admiration from others. Labh, puja, pratishta. Name, fame, adoration, position. All of this will increase in one's life. And what will decrease? The desire for bhakti. What will decrease? The attraction to associating with Vaishnavas. The attraction for doing kirtan, attraction for Harinam will decrease. Attraction for hearing Harikatha will decrease. The attraction for being in the Dham will decrease. And the attraction for serving Thakurji with love and affection, this will also decrease. And Gurudev said one can even become atheistic. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami thought, what to do? I cannot remain here. This great devotee has been offended. I must leave this place immediately. In this connection, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he quoted one verse. Gurur na sasyat svajano na sasyat pita na sasyaj janani na sasyat Daivam na sasyan na pachishcha sasyan namochayadya samupeta mrityum. That guru, that person who's in the role of guru, who cannot save their dependent or disciple from the path which leads to death, is not fit to be in that position. They are fit to be rejected. Svajano means your own family and friends. Svajan. your friends and family who are against or unfavorable to bhakti, and they cannot save you from the path which leads to death. They are not fit to be in that position. They are fit to be rejected. Pita nasasyaj. One's own father, if they cannot help you from the path which leads to death and bring you to the path of eternal life, they are not fit to be in that position. They are fit to be rejected. Janani nasasyan. One's own mother, same. Daivam, the demigods. Napatish, one's own husband or wife. So in this, there are many different examples that are given. I'm just going to mention them very quickly. Bali Maharaj rejected the order of his Guru Shukracharya and instead worshipped Vamandev. For that, Bali Maharaj is glorified throughout the universe. Svajano, Vibhishan rejected the order of his own brother, Ravan, and instead worshipped Ram. For that, he's glorified. Pita, Prahlad Maharaj rejected the order of his father Hiranyakashipu and instead worshipped the Lord. For that, he's glorified all over the world. Janani, Bharat Maharaj rejected his mother Kaikeyi because she sent Ram to the forest for 14 years. By Bharat Maharaj's conviction in the mood of service to Sri Ram, he's glorified throughout the world, throughout the universe. Daivam, who rejected the demigods, the Brajabasis did, to serve Krishna and Giriraj, and for this they are glorified throughout all of the universes. Napatish, Patish means husband. The Yagyapatnis, the wives of the Brahmins, and the Gopis, how glorified are they? The most glorified are the Gopis. They've rejected the orders of their husbands in order to serve and please Krishna, and for this they are glorified throughout all eternity, throughout all universes. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami felt, this offense has been done. Let me leave this place immediately. So that night he didn't even have anywhere to go. He went away from the house. Our Srila Gurudev said this. There was one temple in Kolkata where my Gurudev was offended. He said, to this day, I have never set foot in that place. To this day, I have never set foot in that place. Not once. What? Or looked at their faces. As our Gurudev would say, Pranam forever. Pranam forever means forever, literally. Okay? So, Srila Gurudev also practiced this. Those who are opposed to your developing devotion, your Guru Nishta, your service to Guru Gauranga, Radha and Krishna, it might be that one is forced to be in a situation, but one should not maintain a relationship of attachment to those who cannot save one. Prahlad Maharaj was bound to be there with his father. He was only a young child. But he was not behaving or associating in terms of attachment. He was only attached to Krishna. Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova. Always remembering Krishna. I know that's not the right verse for that point, but the word Krishna is put in there, so I quoted that verse. So Krishna Das Kaviraj, he took a nap under a tree and he fell asleep that night. Didn't know where he was going to go, what he was going to do, but he knew I had to leave that place. That night, Nityananda Prabhu appeared to him in a dream, not a dream, a vision. For anyone who is pure in heart, when the Lord appears in a dream or a vision, it's not just a dream, it is the real thing. How beautiful, how exquisite, wearing blue cloth and a blue turban, blue cloth, wielding a beautiful stick. He had one earring in one ear. He was surrounded by Dvadash Gopal, means his personal associates, looking so charming, so magnanimous, beautiful and glowing. He said he was effulgent and Koti Chandra Shushitala, like millions of moons. So He was chewing pan, his mouth was red, and his eyes were rolling. So Krishnadas Kaviraj was having a view, a vision of the original Nityananda Ram. He came to Krishnadas. You gave up everything for me. For one small thing, you gave up your own brother, you gave up your home and everything. For this, I am indebted to you. I cannot repay you. You've given up everything for me. So let me give you the best thing I can. You should go to Vrindavan, and there you should take shelter of and be under the guidance of Rup Sanatan, the Goswāmis of Vrindavan. There you will find all of your heart's desires fulfilled. And Nityananda Prabhu came to him and gave him this beautiful vision. And this katha also relates to that lion pastime I told you earlier. One little thing he did for him, and Nityananda Prabhu gave him the entire treasure house of association with the best pure devotees. And by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, by this mercy, Nityananda Prabhu also told him to take shelter of Madan Mohan, Govinda and Gopinath in Vrindavan. Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan Tattva Thakurji. By their mercy and the mercy of the six Goswamis, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Mora Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Kavi Krishnadas. By their mercy, he was able to manifest Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. But this all came by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. How merciful. Actually, that katha someone posted a beautiful gif. It is said in this case that his complexion was brilliant and also he had a darkish, it was lustrous. I can't even explain it. Just when you read the description, it is mind-blowing and jaw-dropping. So I recommend that you all read it. Maybe someone can post it. There we go. Oh, no, it hasn't been posted yet. We'll talk about the Mira aspect another day. So Nityananda Prabhu, what's the time? Oh my God, it's getting late. Manifest in this such a beautiful form, feeling indebted that you have given up everything for me. Remember when Sudevi was speaking about Gurudev, on Gurudev's appearance and disappearance, how he was so concerned because she left everything. She gave up everything to go with him. Almost me as well. But her society, her friends, her everything, she went to go with him. And he asked her after the class, he said, "Are you getting something from my classes?" She said, "Something." He said, "Good. Otherwise you will think I am causing abuse to you." Because she had given up everything to go be with Gurudev. So then he feels a necessity to repay. You've given up everything for me. Let me give you the best of what I have to give. So Nityananda Prabhu is like this. Guru is like this. That you give your heart, you give your everything, and then he will take that and fill it with nectar. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswāmī went to Vrindavan on the order of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu performed so many beautiful pastimes with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, including Nagar Sankirtan Lila. There's so much I haven't yet told. It might have to go into tomorrow, which is kind of exciting because then we have more time to marinate. But I would like to also sing Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda. Page 62 by Radha Vallabha Das. You know, after there's so many kathas also going on in different Zoom meetings and everything. So between this one and then after this and then throughout the day, there's so much to hear. Many devotees around the world. I was thinking about it today. Actually, from the COVID lockdown, preaching, sharing the conceptions of Krishna consciousness has increased massively. Because now anyone from the comfort of their own home can take advantage of hundreds, if not thousands of devotees sharing all of this transcendental nectar from so many different groups of Vaishnavas. So many different classes are going on, and they're inviting so many different speakers to speak, whereas normally it might be just in a group of 20. Now they're accessing hundreds, and then that's being shared, and it's also being kept for all time. So this is a very special time. We can look at it from a negative point of view, but I'm looking at it from the positive point of view. My God, what an amazing thing. It's made in such a way that people need something to do. So we can either choose to fully absorb ourselves in Maya, or at least for a few hours a day, absorb ourselves in topics of Krishna, and we can connect with whatever group we want, or many at the same time if we have enough devices. So now, page 62, Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda. Śrī Nitai Chandra is the root of divine bliss. His eyes, which are the color of a crimson sunrise, overflow with a desire to bestow mercy. He is an abode of mercy. From him, a stream of compassion ceaselessly flows as he sweetly sings, Hari Hari. While enjoying spectacular dancing in the company of his devotees, Nitai floats in multicolored waves of rasa. He smiles gently, speaks sweetly, and moves his neck to and fro. I don't know if I did that right. Maybe it's to and fro, or maybe it's to and fro. I don't know. Remaining absorbed in bliss day and night, he embraces the fallen while chanting the names of Gaura. With great vigor, he distributes the treasure of prema to the people of the world. He embraces the fallen. This is important. He's not looking like judging. Oh, you're qualified, you're not qualified. He's embracing the fallen and giving them his mercy. In the midst of Kirtan, Śrī Nitai Chandra, the king of Rasiks, is like a golden mountain. He spreads the rust of the playful pastimes of Braj through his sweet, sweet singing. Overwhelmed with prema, sometimes he rolls on the earth, covering himself with ashen gray dust. Sometimes he wanders restlessly, sometimes he plays, and sometimes he laughs very loudly. Sometimes he perspires, sometimes he laments, sometimes he experiences horripilation. These are ashtasattvic bhavas. Sometimes he stammers, sometimes he leaps long distances, and sometimes he jumps high into the air, and sometimes he heaves deep sighs. He is the ocean of mercy, the friend of all, and the full moon dissipating the darkness of the ignorance in the age of Kali. By removing the cataracts of illusion from the eyes of the residents of this world, Śrī Nitai has fulfilled their desires. By bestowing prema, he has delivered the blind, the fallen, the destitute, and the wicked. The whole world has been delivered. Only this Radha Vallabh Das has been deprived. Why would he be deprived? By my own fault, I have been left behind. When I was reading this, I remembered something that I read from Srila Gurudev today. The question was asked, I heard that after some time Mahaprabhu's name and Mahaprabhu's teachings will disappear. And Gurudev said, absolutely not. Gurudev said, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this world, this form, then Kalki avatar will not appear. And then the question came again near the end of that same class. We just discussed this the other day. And Gurudev, again, this is a Nityananda Prabhu class, so we can actually post it as proof. And at the end, Gurudev said, no. This is a special time. This is the time of Mahaprabhu. By the power of prema and the power of Nam Sankirtan, it will only increase and increase and increase until the end. Meaning until the end of this yuga, and it will usher in the next age, the golden age. So this is a very special time. It's no ordinary Kali Yuga. Dhanya Kali Yuga Chaitanya Avatar. Kali Yuga Dhanya Nitai Chaitanya. This Dhanya means fortunate Kali Yuga. It's not any ordinary Kali Yuga. It's a supremely fortunate Kali Yuga due to the presence of Nitai and Chaitanya. And I think I was wondering where that is. It's in one of those other ones. Dhanya Kali Dhanya Nitai. Dhanya Kali Yuga. Dhanya Nitai Chaitanya. Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda Aruna Nayana Karuna Chanda Ananda Kanda Nitai Chanda Aruna Nayana Karuna Chanda Karuna Pura Saghane Jhura Karuna Pura Saghane Jhura Hari Hari Dhvani Bolo Re Hari Hari Dhvani Bolo Re Nataka Ranga Bhakata Sangha Nataka Ranga Bhakata Sangha Vividha Bhasha Rasataranga Nataka Ranga Bhakata Sangha Vividha Bhasha Rasataranga Ishatahasa Madhura Bhasha Ishatahasa Madhura Bhasha Saghane Gima Golare Saghane Gima Golare Patita Gora Japata Gora Patita Gora Japata Gora Dino Rajani Ananda Bhora Patita Gora Japata Gora Dino Rajani Ananda Bhora Prema Ratana Koriya Jatana Prema Ratana Koriya Jatana Jagajane Karu Dare Jagajane Karu Dare Kirtana Majho Rasiko Rajo Kirtana Majho Rasiko Rajo Jaichano Kanaiya Giri Virajo Kirtana Majho Rasiko Rajo Jaichano Kanaiya Giri Virajo Brajo Biharo Rasa Bitharo Brajo Biharo Rasa Bitharo Madhura Madhura Gano Re Madhura Madhura Gano Re Dharani upara dhuli dhusara dharani upara kabahulu thata preme gara gara dhuli dhusara dharani upara kabahulu thata preme gara gara kabahu chalata कबहू खेलत कबहू चलत कबहू खेलत कबहू आत हास रे कबहू आत हास रे कबहू से दो कबहू खेद कबहू से दो कबहू खेद कबहू पुलक स्वर विभेद कबहू से दो कबहू खेद कबहू पुलक स्वर विभेद कबहू लम्फ कबहू झम्प कबहू लम्फ कबहू झम्प कबहू दीर्घ श्वास रे कबहू दीर्घ श्वास रे करुणा सिंधु अखिल बंधु करुणा सिंधु अखिल बंधु कलि जुगतम पुराण इंदु करुणा सिंधु अखिल बंधु कलि जुगतम पुराण इंदु जगत लोचन पतल मोचन जगत लोचन पटल मोचन निताय पूरन आशरे निताय पूरन आशरे अन्धय धम दीन दूर जन अन्धय धम दीन दूर जन प्रेम दाने करलो मोचन अन्धय धम दीन दूर जन प्रेम दाने करलो मोचन पावल जगत केवल वंचित पावल जगत केवल वंचित ए राधा वल्लभ दास रे 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 आनंद कंद निताय चंद अरुण नयन करुणा चंद आनंद कंद निताय चंद अरुण नयन करुणा चंद करुणापुर सघने झूर करुणापुर सघने झूर हरि हरि ध्वनि बोल रे 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 नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Oh my God, I can't believe the time. When it went black, maybe a long time elapsed. So Nityananda Prabhu would not be happy if we did not chant for Mahaprabhu and at least Mahamantra, which includes Radha and Krishna. So, and tomorrow we will do more. So please forgive me for taking so long. I don't know what happened with the time, but the bhajans and the discussion, what I've heard from Gurudev and read from Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, sometimes takes a while. Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam. And that's in the Sanskrit section, closer to the end. Vande Vishvambhara Pada Kamalam, 339. Scusi. Add number 2. Take it. Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Beautiful bhajan glorifying Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari. This will make Nityananda Prabhu very happy. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Pandita Kali Juga Jana Malam Shamalam. Pandita Kali Juga Jana Malam Shamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Saurabhakarshita nija janamadhupam. Saurabhakarshita nija janamadhupam. Karuna khandita viraha vitapam. Karuna khandita viraha vitapam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Nashita hridagata mayatimiram. Nashita hridagata mayatimiram. Varanijakantya jagatamachiram. Varanijakantya jagatamachiram. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Satata virajita nirupama shobham. Satata virajita nirupama shobham. Radha mohana kalita vilobham. Radha mohana kalita vilobham. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Vande Vishvambhara Padakamalam. Shachinandana Jai Gaura Hari. Jaya Shachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Shachinandana Jai Gaura Hari. Shachinandan Jai Gaura Hari. Gaura He, 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 Gaura He. Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Bolo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango Jai, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango Jai, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango Jai, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango Jai, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai 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 Gaurango, Nitai 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 Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango Jai, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango Jai, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Bolo Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari Gurudev ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuk Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavan Śrī Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Didi Avirbhav Mahamahotsav ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Govinda Damodara Madhaviti, Govinda Damodara Madhaviti, Govinda Damodara Madhaviti, Jai Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Shri Ram Jai Ram Ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Jai Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you all very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Guru Day and our Guru Varga, especially remembering the pastimes, the teachings, the tattva, the lessons of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. On this day, the day of his appearance, he is the form of mercy and compassion. He is Akhanda Guru Tattva. We can pray to him desperately from the core of our hearts. You can give someone like Jagai and Marai instantaneous mercy and bring them from complete nonsense to perfect Paka devotee, first class devotee. Please be merciful to me and help me also like this. So also I'd like to express our indebtedness to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to do our Guru Seva, which is our heart and soul. Dandavat
Pranam, dear Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna, Radhe
Radhe, Radhe.
Radha Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Śrī Satyavrata Muni Hari Ki Jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai,
Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam.
Radhe Radhe
Radhe Radhe.